Yay Networks.
Welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. I am Kellie Raspberry Evans with my husband and my podcast co-host, Alan Evans.
Hey, train in the house.
So happy to be back for another week of podcasting with you, honey.
Yes.
Basking in the afterglow of Valentine's Day.
Valentines and PALentines and Galentines.
A lot to get to.
Kellie told me, and I've heard of Allentines. One time, remember we went to Nashville? We had Allentines.
Well, yeah, that was just a little pun because you were the only guy in our group. So we made it Valentine's Day.
And then I've heard of Galentines.
Yeah.
But then when I was to meet a friend, Bad Influence Jeff, on the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
You called it
PALentines.
PALentines.
But that's not like something I coined. I've heard it elsewhere. I'd never heard it before, but once I said it, suddenly people are like, oh yeah, PALentines.
I would take credit for that.
Well, okay. Kellie Raspberry Evans started it. But that Friday the 13th, I had been such a bum going to work for a couple of days, like literally rolling out of bed, no makeup, putting on a baseball cap, sweats, going to work. So I decided I'm going to take a shower, wash my hair, and get up and get dressed and go to work on Friday the 13th.
Yes.
And so afterwards, as soon as it was over, I said, well, I'm all dressed up. I should go to lunch. You know, Alan and I already have Valentine's plans. So I called my girlfriend, Amy, and said, let's do a last minute Galentines.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to lunch and went to this lovely new restaurant right around the block from our house. We're so excited because we want a neighborhood place, right?
It's great.
It's great. If you've ever been to, well, maybe some people are familiar with this place called J. Alexander's, hashtag not an ad. The words are coming out of my mouth, hashtag not an ad. But apparently it's a chain restaurant that's not all over the country, but started in Nashville. And now it's here. And it's literally walking distance. We can go over there, get hammered, and walk home, unless we could still get popped for public drunkenness, right?
Well, yeah,
walking drunk?
Yeah.
You get busted for walking home drunk?
Public intox, yeah.
Just saying, if the occasion ever arises, it's walkable. But when we went for the first time, we're like, man, this is very similar to Houston. So if you have missed Houston's, if they used to be in your area, J. Alexander's is very similar to that. So anyway, Amy and I went. It was her first time. She loved it. And then later that day, I found out you were trying to get a hold of Bad Influence Jeff.
Are we just going to launch right into this?
Well, yeah, why not?
Okay. Well,
I'm already talking about it.
Let's do it. Yeah. So the 13th, Jeff and I, we had not seen each other in a while.
He's your pal.
He's my pal. And we hadn't seen each other since like Christmas, you know. So I reached out, and that's okay. You know, sometimes you got to reach out to your friends to make sure they're okay. And I just shot him a text. I'm like, dude, you alive? Like, what's Happy New Year? What's going on? And he said, yeah, I've just been really busy. And I said, well, let's do something. Let's do a little something because Kellie Raspberry Evans is doing Galentines. I say you and me do PALentines.
Did he like that?
He liked
the
that.
PALentine pun? Yeah.
He liked that. So we decided to meet at J. Alexander's for happy hour, even though they don't really have an official happy hour.
They don't have a happy hour menu or drink specials. But the lady told me at lunch, which I warned you, she said, if you don't get here by 4 or 4:30, you're not going to get a seat at the bar.
Yeah. So we decide to meet at 3:30.
You want to make sure you got a seat at the bar.
God, I was that's cool.
Y'all are like the early bird happy hour special.
Oh man. So I get there right. I was a little bit early, about 3:25 or whatever. I get there. Take your pick. The whole bar was open.
She was right. It was perfect timing.
The whole bar was open. So I post up. Jeff said, hey, I'm on the way. He was, Jeff's pretty punctual. He was right on time. So yeah, we sat there and posted up. Let's see. I had a couple of Manhattans, which is my drink of choice in the winter. Woodford Manhattan. It was really good. And then Jeff is doing the bit where he'll do one thing and, vodka soda. And then he's like, I'll have a tequila sunrise.
Yeah, he likes to mix it up.
Well, now I'm going to do a martini, but it was just, he's doing that bit. I'm like, okay. Well,
I don't know. I'd be sick as a dog.
I don't know how
you mixing all that.
I don't know how you do that.
Well,
but it was fun. We sat there, we caught up. He caught me up on work stuff and personal stuff. And
I start getting the phone calls. Come join us. Come join us.
Yeah.
No, I was posted up. I had one dog on my hip, one behind my knee, and I was wearing my sweats, and I was just watching what I wanted on TV on the couch. I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No, I understand.
Y'all were having PAL-entines. I would be encroaching on your manliness.
You know what's crazy is I can almost hit a golf ball from that restaurant to our front yard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that close.
But I didn't want to.
But you didn't want to.
I didn't want to get dressed again. I was in my sweatpants.
And that's okay. So Jeff and I sat there 3:30, 4:30, about 5:30, I think. At which point Jeff says, "Hey, I'm gonna leave and go change." Jeff's a big changer.
What was he? Was he wearing like sweatpants like I was?
I had on jeans and a nice dress shirt, remember? And I had them on boots. I just put on nice clothes because that's
it was PALentines.
well, it was PALentines.
Yeah, that's
and it's a nice restaurant. No, he looked fine. He had jeans and a t-shirt, but he had a hat on and he had like a hoodie or something. You know, he was low key Jeff. So he said, "I'm gonna go get checked." We've documented this, I think, on the podcast. If you go back to 2020, when Jeff and I went to the Grammys together, the dude changes 5-6 times a day. He does other things 5-6 times a day, but we won't go into that. But anyway, yeah, he likes to change. He does a lot of changing. So he said, "I'm going to go change." And I said, "Why are you going to go change? Why are you leaving? We're having a good time for PALentines."
And they gave you free popcorn. That is the one free thing you got.
Free popcorn. He said, "Because there's another bar I want to go to. I have a friend who is bringing another friend, and this friend wants me to meet her friend."
Okay, so
her and her.
A potential romantic introduction.
Maybe.
But you never know, or just another friend.
Yeah. So I said, "Well, okay, that's cool." And he said, "Well, why don't you come with me? You can wingman this stuff." And I said, "Dude, what am I going to do?" And I said, I'm sit in the corner and watch, I guess, you know.
Which could be fun.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. But anyway, so he said, "Yeah, it's right down the road. It's this little bar that's really walking distance from where we are, even though we didn't walk. We could have." So he said, "I'll come back here in 30, 45 minutes. And actually, I'll just meet you there." Okay, so he leaves me, and I'm sitting there at the bar at J. Alexander's.
Now, when you're sitting at a bar alone, when your pal left,
yeah,
what do you do? Were you talking to other patrons? Were you just eating your own popcorn and finishing your Manhattan? What were you doing?
Well, good question. The bar was now pretty packed. There was an empty seat next to me. The seats next to that, friends of the podcast.
How about that?
Yeah, I hear a train, and I turn around. And they're like, "Where's Kelly?" And I'm like, "Well,
home in her sweatpants."
Well, here's the thing. No one ever asked A-Train how A-Train is.
Oh.
First thing was, "Where's Kelly?" Which is okay. I understand. That's okay.
Well, I could probably tell by looking at you, you were doing just fine.
So I said, "She's at home in her sweats. I was trying to text her up here, but she's too comfortable." And they're like, "Oh, okay. We love the podcast. We love the Kiss FM." And I'm like, cool. So anyway, I ordered food. If you're asking what I did, I was hungry. So I ordered some food. But I told Kelly I had this, kind of strange encounter. Gal comes in, packed bar, says, "Can I sit here?" I'm like, "Sure." She sits down. She was probably in her 30s. And, it's just, I didn't think anything of it. I'm just sitting there eating my dinner. She ordered dessert first. She wanted dessert. So she orders a dessert. She ordered carrot cake. She takes one bite of the carrot cake. Says, "This is the most fabulous carrot cake I've ever had."
Oh, good to know for next time when we go.
Right. And then doesn't touch the carrot cake after that.
One bite. Okay. Then
she says, "I want some salmon." Because that's the first thing I think of after I eat carrot cake is, hey, how about some salmon?
Yeah.
So she says, "I want to order salmon, grilled salmon, and what's that pasta? Looks like rice."
Orzo.
Salmon and orzo. So they bring her the salmon and orzo. She takes one bite of salmon. Says, "This is the most fabulous salmon I've ever had."
Good to know.
She takes one bite of orzo. Says, "This is the best." And she was doing the bit where she's kind of talking to herself. And I guess she was talking to me, but I wasn't really too invested. I was just kind of listening and just eating my own food. And then she said, "This is the best salmon, best orzo." Gets her bill, puts the S in a bag, checks out of there.
Huh. Interesting.
It was the strangest thing. I don't know why. I just told Kelly, I'm like, why
Yeah.
do you think she did that?
I don't have an explanation other than maybe she would, because ordering the dessert first is odd. Then maybe she was hoping she would strike up conversation or something and then be able to dine with company, but then realized I'll just take it home instead. Maybe it was Valentine's Eve. I don't know.
Yeah. A couple of things. She didn't strike me as looking for a date.
Mm-hmm.
That never crossed my mind. I never got that. That
if she was
feeling.
looking for a date, she probably have been asking you, what would you recommend on the menu?
Well,
that kind of thing, you know?
She did say, have you eaten here? And I said, yes, I've been here now. This is my second time. And I said, the other time I had the Cajun pasta. It was fabulous. I had the deviled eggs. Wonderful. I said, that's all I can tell you. I'm having the prime rib dime. But
that is a dime.
Yeah. Yeah. J. Alexander's. Here's another thing about J. Alexander's. Bring your credit card or lots of cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's upper. Yeah.
It's expensive. It's very expensive.
Anyway, so then you ate, she left, you finished.
Yeah. And then Jeff says, well, I texted Kelly. I said, hey, Jeff's going to this other bar right down the road. And he wants me to go over there with him. And I think Kelly said, we'll go, you know,
Go.
I'm just here at home. And I said, well, do you want to go? And I'm really trying to get her to go. She's like, no.
I started feeling bad because I was like, do y'all really want me to go? Because I don't want to disappoint anybody. But I mean, y'all, you know what it's like when you are home. You have mentally come home, not just physically, but mentally you're home, spiritually, emotionally. I was just home and I just didn't want to go back out again, but I really appreciated they wanted me to be there. And look, y'all, I send my husband out to a bar. I am not worried. It's fine. I wasn't worried about anything. I didn't need to be there.
You just wait.
My husband, y'all bet I know what's coming. I know what's coming.
So Jeff texts me. He's like, I'm here. And I'm like, okay, I'm tabbing out. I was finishing my dinner. And now the bar is packed. I mean, it's
as you're leaving, you mean J. Alexander's bar?
J. Alexander's. It's a-holes to elbows as I'm checking out and leaving. In fact, people are waiting for me to leave.
Oh, they're so glad. This bozo.
Yeah, this bozo.
It's freaking 3:30.
Yeah.
We can't get a seat.
Yeah. Who's this bozo sitting here on Valentines where we need the seat by himself? So anyway, I check out of there and I go over to this new place.
It's not new. It's been there.
Has it?
It's been there. This is a bar that's tucked away. My daughter used to work at a froyo shop and it was open right next to it. And I was like, but I'm not over there at prime bar going out time. But there's like never anybody there. I was like, does anybody even know it's back here? It's so hidden. But Alan was like, no, it was hopping on a Friday night. Again, it was also Valentine's night, but it was do you want to say what it was? You are going to love Legacy Box. You know, becoming a parent changes how you look at memories. While we're savoring and saving every moment with our kids, suddenly you start to realize a lot of important memories from our childhood. They're trapped on VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, photo albums, crammed into boxes labeled "Do Not Throw Away" and shoved into an attic. Those are at risk of being destroyed by heat, moisture, disaster, time. And once they're gone, they're gone. That's why you need Legacy Box now. They are the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. And the process is so simple. They send you a Legacy Box and you fill it up with old VHS tapes, pictures, film reels, slides, DVDs, whatever you've got. Their team in Tennessee carefully digitizes it all by hand. They send you back the originals plus digital files on the cloud or a thumb drive. Ordering a Legacy Box is one of the best things I've done for my family because now instead of just telling my kids about that crazy vacation I took to the mountains when I was a kid, I get to show them and relive it with them. And right now, during Legacy Box's Father's Day sale, you can save big while preserving your family's history. Visit legacybox.com/sandwich to get started today. That's legacybox.com/sandwich. It's the little things that make a big difference in how I feel. Now, for me right now, it's about stretching. I didn't realize how stiff I was until I started doing it. I love when I can stretch a little further than before. It makes me feel refreshed when I'm done. And you know, a little makeup refresh can make all the difference too with Thrive Cosmetics, my go-to clean makeup routine year-round. Now, of course, their brilliant eye brightener and Stella champagne is always in my makeup bag. Actually, I need to reorder more. I'm almost out. But it comes in 32 shades, and the Shenna Mint Green Shimmer looks really fun for summer. Their Empower Matte Precision Lipstick Crayon, it's really amazing. It gives you a beautiful color that lasts without feeling dry. They have 18 buildable shades, and I love the Dusty Rose Kaisa color. I think that's how you pronounce it. But the best part, for every product you buy, Thrive donates products and funds to help communities thrive. So far, they've given over $150 million in products and cash to over 600 giving partners. This is beauty with purpose. Amplify your summer look with Thrive Cosmetics. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/sandwich for an exclusive 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/sandwich. I don't think I've ever talked about it on this podcast before, but one day I was walking past the windows going upstairs and I noticed this greasy cooking smell. You know what I mean? It turns out it was our blinds. Something about the sun was breaking them down over the years. And who knows how long they were there before we bought our house. We needed new blinds bad, and that's what led me to 3-Day Blinds. I absolutely loved how easy they made the whole process. They send a professionally trained design consultant to your home. It's a free, no obligation, same-day quote. And they've got thousands of options to fit any budget and style. It's not just blinds. They've got shades, shutters, drapery too. 3-Day Blinds even has those motorized smart blinds that work with Alexa. Those are so cool. They take all the measurements. They handle the installation too. And it's perfect because I'm not handy. And what a difference it's made. This is an upgrade that makes your whole house feel refreshed and polished without having to do a big renovation. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to dayblinds.com/sandwich. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the 3dayblinds.com/sandwich.
So I pull up, I park, I walk up to the establishment, and there's this big heart balloon thing.
Arch
as you're walking into the establishment, and I hear bum, dun, dun, bum, bum, dun, bum, 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 bum. She's a brick. Dun, 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 house.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, this is a freaking mixer. This is a freaking mixer. I can tell by the people.
It was a singles mixer.
It was a singles mixer.
Yeah. Jeff failed to say that. But in Jeff's defense, maybe he didn't know that.
Jeff described it as a get together. He said, I have a friend who's putting this event on. And I said, well, what kind of event? He said, it's just a bunch of people hanging out. So in my head, I'm thinking, this could be a mixer. I kind of thought it might be a mixer when I walked up.
You didn't tell me that going.
Well, but as I walk in.
Let me tell you, even knowing that, even if I knew full well that my husband was walking into a singles mixer, I still would not have gotten out of my sweatpants and going up there. I don't care. It is fine.
So at this point, man,
I trust my husband.
I am invested in this. I'm like, I'm going to go see what this is about. Okay.
And you were wearing your wedding ring.
100%.
Okay.
So I walk in there, and you ever walked into a place and you feel like, I can't tell a lot of this story without sounding like a complete egomaniac. But
go ahead, honey. It's fine.
But
I was laughing. I thought it was cute.
I am just going to tell the facts. And if you think A-Train's being an egomaniac, then maybe he's being an egomaniac.
But sometimes facts is facts.
I walk in, and you ever feel like everyone in the restaurant turns their head and looks?
Yes.
Okay.
But this was also an occasion where it's a singles mixer, so they're all optimistic that coming through that door at any point could be the future love of their life. That's why they're all heads turned, because we're all on swivel, right? We're all swiveling.
Yeah. So I see Jeff, and he's in this, there's like couches in this place, right?
Oh, God.
So I go sit on.
Envisioning it again.
So I go sit on the couch with Jeff, and across from him is his friend and the friend that she brought, and very lovely people, very lovely. Jeff was holding court.
As he does.
Yeah. And I was
everybody knows Jeff.
I was just sitting there kind of laughing, and the people watching was off the chain. It was great. It really was. It was fun because I had not been in that environment in 12 years.
It's been a while.
And I guess that's why it felt odd in a way, but it was fun too. It was just fun watching people.
Well, because you weren't it's a different position when you're in a relationship, and it's now you can just observe instead of having that kind of sense of somewhat optimism and yet still anxiety.
Yeah.
That mixture of, anxiousness and anxiety when you're here for a reason. You're hoping you find somebody and fall in love.
Yeah. And the ladies were dressed very nice. It was an older crowd. It was an older crowd. It was our crowd.
Yeah.
It wasn't a 20s, 30s. It was a 40s and up.
Yeah. Love it. I love that because a lot of people are like, where do I go at my age? Well, there's events like this.
So just a couple of quick stories I told Kelly. And the whole time I'm trying to get Kelly to come to this because I'm feeling little fish out of water. I'm like,
it is true.
This is a little strange. I would probably have more fun if Kelly were here. Although this is fun watching people and seeing Jeff be a complete, Jeff. Be a complete Jeff. So anyway, I'm just sitting there with Jeff talking to his friends, and I look over at the bar, and there's a woman waving at me or waving.
It's one of those things like you're looking over your shoulder like,
No.
me?
I'm like, I'm the married guy here. I know they're not waving at me. She's probably waving at.
She can't see if you're married or not from that distance.
Yeah. So she's probably waving at Jeff. So I didn't even wave back. I just look at her, and then I look at Jeff, and I see that Jeff is engaged with the people across from him. So I'm like, she's waving at me. So I didn't wave back because I didn't know who she was.
Oh no, you're just so rude.
Well, I didn't know. I was confused as I usually am. Turns out this woman and I went on, it was explained to me, went on dates.
Dates.
And Jeff went over there and gathered the intel. He came back and he said, you and her went out before. And I said, I honestly don't remember.
That is insulting.
So I did talk to her, and and then I did remember because
it has been a long time.
Yeah. She said, how's life been going? I said, oh, it's great. We caught up a little bit. She goes, happy for you and the way everything turned out. I said, yeah, so am I. And she said, you still doing magic?
That proves you really dated him.
I said, did I do magic? And she said, yeah. And I go, well.
Did she have the same reaction I did when you
must
pulled
not
out
have been
magic?
very good magic. No, I honestly, I don't remember going out with her. But I showed Kelly her picture, and
she's beautiful, y'all.
Very nice.
And that's the thing. And Alan had a couple of encounters with women. I love a woman who is confident enough to approach somebody, but then when they found out Alan was married, they stopped there, right? But But Alan was showing me some of these women and I'm like, these are the most beautiful women, so put together. They have but it's like, why? What's wrong? Why? I'm sure they're thinking, why can't I find somebody? Why can't I? But it's events like this. But there's so many good quality women out there, and there was a lot of good guys there too, right?
Yeah, there were some fellas that were dressed up in suits, and there was a dude who had on. This dude had on like a sequin suit, sequin black suit with a sequin fedora.
See, now how serious? I mean,
that guy was.
You come in a room like I'm a fun guy, but who's going to look at him and take him seriously as a potential life partner? I mean, it's one thing. I don't know.
So
I guess it depends on the situation, but it made my heart a little sad because I do feel there's so many lonely people out there who have got so much going on for them. They're quality people with good careers, and they just want to share fun stuff with.
So another gal came up to me, and she did the bit, you look very familiar. I'm like, really? I do? And she said, yeah.
You're not going to just save her the trouble because it's kind of egotistical. I mean, what are you supposed to say?
I don't know. It even makes me feel weird telling the story.
I know, but it's true.
She's like, you look like an actor. And she didn't think I don't think at this point she saw that I was married. She goes, you look like an actor. And I said, really? Which one?
Make her say it.
Yeah, I did. She goes, I just can't remember his name. He's that guy that was on The Walking Dead. I'm like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan? And she goes, yes, you look exactly like Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
And you hate when people
and I'm
say
like,
that.
get out of here. She goes, no, you do. You really do. And I'm like,
you really do.
And I said something like, I really appreciate that. I said, my wife tells me that a lot.
Yeah.
So, it was weird because I'm at a singles mixer, and the reason people go to singles mixers are to talk to people and to try to get to know them better.
Yeah, I think just by the fact that you were in the room, that was false advertising.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really 100% your fault. And Allen did have some lovely ladies interact with him.
Well, I didn't want to,
but
yeah,
nothing inappropriate happened. You disclosed very early on that you were very happily married.
Yes. I didn't want to do the thing where, and I know women do this sometimes, I think, where a guy will hit on them and they're married and they do this.
I know, it's so rude.
They throw up the hand in their face or something like that. So
let me just say, for women, when you're in a bar and any man, the amount of nerve, you think how hard it is for a woman to go up to a man. It's just as hard for a man to go up to a woman. And these women think it's so funny to give him attitude and be complimented that somebody thought you at least were attractive enough to approach, or you looked friendly enough to approach, to be kind and gracious and letting them down.
So here's another story I told Kelly, and again, this is wheels off.
Here we go.
So I'm just making small talk with the group, and I'm like, so you either talk about the weather or what everyone's wearing, right? So I'm like, wow, everyone looks not really dressed up in here. I said, the guys like really put forth a lot of effort. Like, they got suits on. I was talking to one fella. He had on a suit. He had on a lapel pin. It was like this fancy heart, this bejeweled heart or whatever.
Aww.
I said, every guy in here, though, has a fedora or a hat on. And I said, I just can't wear hats like that. I can wear ball caps, but I look stupid when I wear a ball cap or a fedora like that.
I don't think you do.
And the very nice young lady who mentioned that I look like
Jeffrey Dean
Morgan, when I said this, said, "Oh, Allen, you have way too much hair to wear a hat like that."
Wow. Man, she practically wanted you to just get naked right there. That was so coded.
I mean, if somebody...
Are you going to tell what the woman said as she was leaving for the night before she said goodnight?
Oh, God.
You going to tell the one too?
Go
ahead. You told the full head of hair one. Tell this one. Go ahead. Y'all, I had to listen. Y'all don't know. I had to hear all this. And I'm just sitting there laughing. It was so funny. It was fun and sweet. We're not making fun of anybody. If anything, I was making fun of Allen.
One of the gals came up at the end. We were in the big group, and it came up very obviously that I was married.
Yes. Everybody was looking at Allen. They all, don't leave him alone, girl. He's married.
Yeah, leave him alone. In fact, there was another gal there who I think was running interference for me, because anybody that got a little, she would
beeline for Allen.
She would make it a point, even though I didn't know her, she was cock blocking. She would make it a point to say something about you or me being married, which was fine, but that was her role in things. So anyway, one of these women, as she's leaving, she comes up. She goes, "Allen, I know you're married." She goes, "But I just want you to know, I think you're the most attractive guy in the room."
Why are you changing your voice?
Because I don't want that to be used.
I just want you to know, Allen, that you are the most attractive man in this room.
Which isn't a huge compliment, because
it's a huge compliment.
There weren't that many guys there.
And then she just turned and walked away.
Then she just dashed off, yeah, and threw me a doily with her perfume on it.
Oh, right. Now he's lying. Oh,
God.
Did it make you want to be single again, babe?
No.
But it does. I hope that everybody in that room found the love they desired or soon does, because that is hard.
But on a serious note, the night, it was fun. It was like I told Kelly, it was a little strange being in a situation like that, but on a serious note, there are a lot of people, and we know people, we have friends, we have listeners that they're single later on in life. And it's not easy. It's not easy.
And that's why, people that are bored, I get so many with love letters to Kelly that I also do another podcast. And people are like contemplating leaving their marriage because they're, in their 40s and 50s and they're just not happy. They are just, the other one doesn't do anything wrong. It's just, I'm not happy. It's just that you're bored, And I'm like, you really need to think long and hard before you turn your back. If there's not an abusive situation or anything other than the fact that I just don't feel happy, and I'm just, being happy takes work and effort. And if you think the grass is greener on the other side, getting out there in the dating field in your 40s and 50s and 60s, I'd think long and hard about that before walking away from a comfortable relationship that maybe you just need to put a little bit more effort, bringing some, maybe not necessarily the sizzle and the lustful passion, but just, bringing the fun back. And you're kind of responsible. You have some responsibility in, making your marriage happy and not putting it all on the other person.
Yo, babe, little bonus love letters.
Well, I'm just saying, because I feel like these women, I get letters so many times from women. There's like, I'm just not happy. I'm just, I don't want to live my life and unhappy. Well, that's your choice to be unhappy. There's things you can do to make your life happier. You got to be active and, bring your husband along, hopefully.
And for a lot of people too, I will say on Valentine's Day, I notice, because I have friends and I follow them on social media and see what they post. The end goal for a lot of people isn't to be booed up. Maybe that's just not what they want. And that's okay.
They're just for like one night stands, or just maybe just for some company?
I would prefer to have somebody in my life. I'm just saying, there are people who I think are happy just doing their thing.
And then going home alone?
Yeah. I think there are people that are totally happy with that. And I'm just saying, that's okay. That's all right. That's fine. But I will say, after observing this and seeing a lot of people in that world again, it's like, I remember how hard it was and how awkward it was and how lonely it was and how I've told this story on the podcast a million times, especially when we first started, was, I was just about, man, I'm just giving up on this. I can't find anybody that I really gel with, until I went on Bumble one more time for the new year. And then Kelly and I met, and I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Well, this may work. But before that, I was doing that.
Yeah.
I was 100% doing all that. And it's hard. And it's,
Yeah. Think long and hard before you walk away from your marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in a big city, I think women are very defensive. Well, I don't know what the right word is. They're
cautious.
They're cautious. Yeah. They're very, especially when they get older, they're a little cautious about who they're
paranoid.
Yeah. Don't want to screw it up again. If they screwed it up before, or something got screwed up before, they're very cautious and always kind of, got a little side eye on the men. I think men in a big city have maybe a reputation too. It just depends on the individual. I guess my bottom line is that world is hard.
Yeah. But you know what? Marriage is hard.
True.
Marriage is hard.
True.
Not ours, though. Smooth sailing. Easy breezy. No, I'm kidding. No, it's fine. It's fine right now.
Yeah.
You can't scroll your phone for more than 30 seconds without seeing somebody talking about GLP-1s. Maybe you've been close to trying them, but you're not a needle person, or maybe you're looking for a natural alternative. Well, let me introduce you to our podcast sponsor, Veracity. Their Metabolism Ignite. It's a natural plant-based GLP-1 alternative that is doctor recommended and clinically proven to help reduce hunger. Just 2 capsules with breakfast every morning. It's all you need. And one of the first things I noticed was I wasn't thinking about food all day, that food noise you always are constantly battling. Metabolism Ignite has no allergens, no caffeine, no negative side effects, and we love that. It's shown to reduce hunger by 85% and clinically proven to help lose an average of 9 pounds in 90 days. We really love that. Look, this stuff is sold out 10 times for a reason. So before it sells out again, make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityhealth.co and use sandwich for up to 65% off your order. Once again, that's VERACITY health.co for up to 65% off. Make sure you use our promo code SANDWICH so they know we sent you. I think everybody's had that moment where they say, I should start my own business. Now, maybe you've got an amazing hot sauce recipe, or you've gotten really great at making candles or jewelry, and all your friends keep telling you you should sell that stuff. Well, what's stopping you? If you've been sitting on a business idea, Shopify makes it easy to make it happen. Everything you need to start selling is included and ready from day one. When your first customer is ready to buy, Shopify checkout helps more people actually complete the purchase. And when they come back, their information's already saved. So checkout is quick and easy. One tap and they're done. Shopify handles all the technical stuff too, the setup and checkout, so you can spend your time growing your business and doing what you actually love. It's no wonder Shopify powers millions of businesses around the world, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to small businesses just getting started like yours. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business, so go make it one. Start your free trial at shopify.com/sandwich. That's shopify.com/sandwich. One more time, shopify.com/sandwich. Now that I've reached a certain age, I realize how much my sleep affects me and everybody around me. It affects my energy, my mood, my patience. And I've also learned that I don't need to waste a lot on fancy sleep gadgets, because one of the best things I've done is upgrade to Boll and Branch sheets. I noticed the difference from night one. They are incredibly soft, so breathable. It's because Boll and Branch's sheets are made with 100% organic cotton that's woven specifically for airflow. Now I don't wake up feeling hot with sheets sticking to my legs anymore. My sheets keep me cool and comfortable all night long. And they've actually gotten softer with every wash. They even did a survey of their customers. 94% of them said the same thing. I love my Boll and Branch sheets, and honestly, I can't imagine ever going back to any other bedding. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll and Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/sandwich with code SANDWICH. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/sandwich. Code SANDWICH to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/sandwich, code SANDWICH. Exclusions apply.
Anyway, so that was fun.
That was
PALentines.
I think it was better that I didn't go, so you would have all of these experiences to share.
And I was home at 9:30.
Yeah.
This wasn't a late night.
No, not this crowd. Not this crowd.
No.
But then we had to get ready for our Valentine's Day the next day. And look at us, big party people. We had dinner reservations at 5:30.
Yeah, we went to this place called Silver Fox. It is for those of you who keep up on the A Train, Kelly Raspberry Evans trivia, it's the second restaurant we went to have a date.
Right. Third, we think it's
third date, but
we think it's the third day.
Second sit down restaurant.
This is when Allen, though, did pull out the magic.
Yes.
That we know for sure.
Yes.
So we thought at first, we said, well, we could recreate our first date, which we've done that a lot. We go to Densetsu all the time. And I thought, well, we could go back to the place where we had our very first Valentine's date. That's all the way down in Dallas. And we're in the suburbs now. And we're just, what's closer? Let's go to the place for our third date. That's what we decided to do. So made the reservation. They had 5:30. We said, perfect. We'll beat the young crowd.
Yeah, it was a mixed crowd that early. There were families in there. There were children in there.
I think it's really sweet. We've had the kids for Valentine's and taken them out for hibachi before. Yeah. We've done that.
But then there were couples dressed really nicely. Like there was one guy with a tie on, which I thought was pretty legit.
It kind of broke my heart a little bit for this lady. When we sat down, this lady behind us, she was on a date with a gentleman, and you could tell she was, you can't, we were so closely packed in there. They probably put in a couple extra tables because it was Valentine's. And she was just, you could tell she was trying to give the signals. I am very interested. She was really engaged in this conversation. She was dressed. She had on her Valentine attire, and he was fine. And then they were right there to my left. I could see everything. And then the check came, and she pulled out her wallet, and he pulled out his wallet, and they split the bill. And I just was like, I don't know. I guess I'm just traditional. I felt bad for her because you want to be, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like a woman's second Christmas. It is, Valentine's Day is typically for the woman to be wined and dined. So I kind of broke my heart a little bit for her. Anyway.
Yeah, that was a little, I don't know what the right, unusual.
But it seemed like they were on a date day.
They were on a date.
But I was like, I don't know. He wasn't feeling it as much, I guess, based on what I could pick up. Anyway.
Food was great.
Food was excellent.
Any wheels off stories?
No, the food was excellent. I just, we ordered our cocktails. I had to ask for, they didn't quite get that right. I hate, but I wanted I wanted my cocktail like I wanted it.
Well, and then your steak.
And then, okay. So I ordered a martini. Y'all know I love martini. And on the menu, it said that the olives had bacon and blue cheese. I was so excited. And then when they brought my martini, it was just regular olives. And I said, excuse me, I thought these were supposed to be bacon and cheese. And that's fine. They fixed it. And then I said, and I always apologize, and I shouldn't because I like my steak medium well. I don't want it bleeding or I don't want it pink or whatever, even though Alan says medium well isn't bleeding. I don't care. I used to do well done. So the fact that I'm eating medium well is huge for me. And then they bring me my steak and it was a little underdone and I had to send that back.
It was way underdone.
But that's okay.
That's how I would eat it.
But it happens sometimes. It's a busy restaurant. They're turning over tables. I'm not mad at all because it was absolutely delicious. I asked and I'm trying to, watch what I'm eating. I'm trying to lose some weight. Hopefully y'all have noticed. But it came with a side of mashed potatoes. And I said, is there any way I could, substitute like a vegetable? He said, I'm sorry, we're not doing substitutions. I was like, that's okay. I am so glad they didn't do substitutions. Those are the best mashed potatoes, weren't they?
They were really good.
Everything we had was excellent. So except for just, I did eventually get my right olives and I did get my steak cooked properly, but otherwise it was great.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was really great.
And we were home by
7:30.
And then then what do we do? Watch the Olympics or something?
I think we put on our sweats and comfies and probably watch the Olympics, I guess is what we did. Happy Valentine's, baby. It was great.
Yeah, I had a great
You had more action on PALentines.
Action?
Yeah.
I didn't get any action. It was just a bunch of buffoonery.
Like I said.
Even Jeff, we were on that couch and he leaned back and he looked at me. He's like, dude, he's something like this. This is exhausting. And I said, yeah.
Which part? Being single or what?
The being single.
But Jeff says that I'm not just directed at Jeff, but men that say stuff like that, y'all are in the power position. Y'all are in the driver's seat. Y'all could, because you showed me there, I witnessed it. There were quality women there.
Mm-hmm.
And all he has to do is pick one. That's it.
Yeah, but they got to be interested in him.
Well, that's true too. But if he was serious about it and other men, there are so many beautiful, wonderful women out there. But the men still, even though things have changed a lot, men are mostly in the power seat for that. The driver's seat, not power seat. Power position, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Anyway, I just want everybody to be happy and be in just as much in love as we are, honey.
That's right, babe.
And then they can all start their own podcasts.
Not recommended.
No, it's not. It's a lot of work. Okay, listen. Now, this week it was. It's been Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, all that, and now it was Ash Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
We are not Catholic, so I don't really, with the smudges, we don't do the Ash Wednesday and all that.
Smudges.
The smudge on the forehead, the ash.
It's a cross.
Oh, it's a cross. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. But people, when I first I grew up in the South and it was mostly Baptist. So when I came to Dallas and I started seeing people, I'm like, you got something on your forehead. Everybody does that at first. Then you find out, oh, that's the Catholic and the smudge is the ashes doing the cross. All right. So, but most Catholics give up something for Lent?
Yeah, a lot of them do. Yeah.
I don't think all of them do, though, right? That's become like a out of date kind of thing.
Well, I was raised Catholic, and I was kind of hit and miss on that part.
You didn't do it either?
Yeah,
well, they did
very
it.
well.
A poll they just did said that only 14% of people are giving up something for Lent this year.
Really?
That's what only 14%.
My mother does it every year. I mean,
No, I said are, right? 14% said they are giving up something. 70% said they were not. This was taken before. 16% were still on the fence about it. Your mom, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, she does participate in Lent. She does not. She gives up certain things. She doesn't eat meat on Fridays, and then on Good Fridays she fasts.
Okay.
So she does it by the book.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I thought, even though I'm a Baptist, I'm like, that's a time for you to also give up something. But I've never done it. But anyway, that's just something interesting. But this year, so if you gave up something on Lent, it runs through April 2nd, which is a Thursday, because Good Friday is April 3rd and Easter is April 5th this year. I thought, is that kind of early for Easter? But it's actually not. I looked it up. The earliest Easter can ever fall on the calendar is March 22nd. Because it has to do with the spring equinox and stuff.
Okay.
So that's the absolute earliest Easter can ever be, is March 22nd. So it's April 5th this year. Anyway, a lot of people use the opportunity that you're supposed to sacrifice something that is, well, it's supposed to be a sacrifice, right? Something that would actually cause you a little bit of deprivation and suffering.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Some people try to do coffee.
Yeah, because that would be really hard.
That's a tough one for a lot of people.
Diet Pepsi for me would be really hard. I remember one year Kid Craddock said, I'm giving up bacon. I was like, how hard is giving up bacon? I mean, how often are you really eating bacon? That's a sacrifice to give up bacon.
I like bacon. I can go years without eating it.
It's just,
Yeah.
Anyway, there's that.
Okay, babe.
Just happy, but I don't know if you say happy Lent. What do you say?
I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway, tis the season.
Yeah, it's the Lenten season.
All right.
All right, babe. Very good. You got anything else?
I have a lot of stuff, but I know we need to get this out to the masses.
We're in third place in the medal count for those of you keeping up. Winter Olympics. We're doing pretty well. We're doing really well.
Yeah. I think Summer Olympics is more where Americans shine.
Well, yeah, but I was listening to one of Mike Tirico. I think he was saying this is the most golds we've had in a long time.
Oh, good, for the
most
Winter
medals
Olympics
we've had in a long time. And some of those stories of the athletes, though, are really incredible. That woman downhill, the Italian woman skier, she blew her knee out. She has this horrible scar on her knee, and she had to come back and qualify for the Olympics. She did, and then she's won 2 gold medals.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. And then I forget her name. We were watching the thing on her last night. The woman.
Seifert? Is it Ashley Seifert?
I think, no.
Right?
Well, she won. No. I'm talking about the skier. She won 2 golds this year. She won her first gold when she was 18. I think she's won 4 golds total. But she killed the women in the slalom last night. I mean, killed them by like almost 2 seconds, which is like in football would be 75-0. I mean, just absolutely murdered everybody in skiing. That was pretty cool. But yeah, the Olympics have been fun to watch. It's all those athletes have a story. And then a lot of them, like, they go back to just normal jobs.
Yeah.
Like they showed some of the athletes and what they did for real. And it's like barista, works in a grocery store, call center. It's just normal jobs. But they just happen to be these unbelievable world athletes.
So maybe I'm asking a question you don't have the answer for. So let's say you work as a grocery store employee, a barista, and you make the Olympics. Does the Olympic Committee pay for you to go, or do you have to raise your own funds to fund your own way to get there?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know how much they chip in. They do.
You have to be sponsored. I know you have like some of these major athletes, they have sponsorships. And I was hearing how that one girl for Norway that's married to she's engaged to one of the Paul brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Speed skater girl.
Yeah.
That when she ripped open her jumpsuit or whatever to show off a bra, she Now, this is what I don't have the article in front of me. She got paid $1 million for that because now everybody's going to Google what bra she was wearing and people are going to buy that bra, but not like you said, these average athletes, they're getting that kind of money. So I'm just wondering, I need to go Google that.
That's a good question, babe.
I knew I was asking you a question you might not have the answer to, and I was proven correct.
I would think that they get a little bit of financial assistance to get them over there, and they provide them everything else.
Yeah,
the place to stay,
once you get there.
the uniforms, the everything.
Just curious.
I don't know. That's a good one.
All right.
Just real quick. And the one of the athletes that just blew me away, and then we'll bring it home for Jerome, was this cross-country Norwegian skier. Cross-country skiing is where it looks like they're running, but they go up hills, down hills, around. It's like cross-country running, but you're on skis. This dude did a sub 6-minute mile uphill.
That's amazing.
In skis.
I can't imagine.
In the mountains.
I can't imagine. The last time I went up to the mountains, I had to buy a can of air because I was so sick. I couldn't handle it. I was just thinking about the lung capacity of these people.
That's a sub 6-minute mile, which there's no way if someone put a gun to my head and said, run a 6-minute mile right now,
no,
I'd be dead.
Yeah.
When I used to work out at Body Machine, we'd get on the treadmills and do all that incline and blah, blah, blah. The fastest I could go was like a 13-minute mile. 13-minute mile. And I am absolutely sprinting to not fall off the treadmill, right?
Yeah.
This guy did a sub 6-minute mile.
It's crazy.
Uphill. I mean, how do you...
Was he the gold medalist?
I don't know. I just saw a clip.
After all that?
Well, I just saw a clip of this guy and I'm like, the shape you have to be in to do some of these events, that's what I think is so intriguing to me. It just blows me away how good these people are at what they do, even though it's kind of like, do we care about cross-country skiing too much? Not really. But the fact that this guy can do that, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
That just blows me away.
Honey, I do remember one more thing you did want to talk about, and I apologize because I know you're trying to bring this home for Jerome, but you wanted to talk about getting his stitches out.
Oh, yeah. Kelly and I had remember we were talking about, we had our procedures done. Kelly on her shoulder.
My left shoulder. I had a basal cell carcinoma, which is the most common form of skin cancer, but we caught it fairly early. I probably let it go a little longer than I should have, honestly, but had to get that cut out. Required 2 whole stitches. Allen had a bigger cyst cut out of right up the middle of his back.
Looked like a chicken gizzard.
A lot more stitches involved, but our lovely dermatologist and friend of the family, Dr. Moss, said that y'all can come back in and we can remove the stitches for you, or this is something you could do at home. A lot of our patients just do it at home. I said, we got this.
Well, he said 10% of them do it at home.
That's a lot.
Most people come back to me to have it done. So I'm a little apprehensive.
I knew we could do it.
Kelly and I elected to do it. She went first and operated on me. I thought I was going to get poked, prodded, cut. Something bad was going to happen. I just had a bad feeling.
Oh, you were so salty.
Yeah.
You were grumpy.
I thought I was going to, because I thought I was,
what's your problem?
because I thought I was going to get
so much attitude.
I thought I was going to get poked.
Well, you weren't even giving me the benefit of the doubt. You were just grumpy.
Yeah.
You were surly.
Yeah. I was very pessimistic, but Kelly, solid. I didn't feel anything. She just lifted up the knot, clip, lifted up the knot, clip, and then they just pull out. It's really easy.
That's right.
So she did mine in like 5 minutes, and then
you had a lot more stitches than I did.
I took her 2 or 3 stitches out in about 30 seconds. It was pretty easy. It wasn't too bad. But anyway, yeah, we did it.
Get your skin checked, y'all. I have, like Dr. Moss said, where there's one, there will be more. So I've got a complete body check coming up. But they couldn't, these things get backed up. I'm not going to be able to go for a couple months.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to be going to get that done. It's very important. Very important.
All right, babe. You got anything else?
No, I just know you wanted to talk about the stitches. There wasn't much to it other than that, but.
Wasn't much to it. All right, well, I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately.
I love y'all.
I love PALentines, Galentines, and Valentines desperately. And I love my Valentine very desperately.
Thank you, honey. I love you.
And I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good. Have a good sandwich.